Welcome everyone. Today I want to show you how to do a pricing workflow in the 7Learnings tool. What you see here is the landings page where you get after you log in. And in the top header you can see the upload section. That is where you configure uploads of prices. The optimization section where you do the price optimization, so where the actual price decision takes place. You have the scopes section where you group products together to be optimized, and you have the rules section where you define rules for these scopes. Today I want to show you the process end to end, so from creating a scope, creating rules for that scope, performing the optimization to, in the end, configuring the upload. And for that we start at the scope section. Now here you can see the previously created scopes, and you can create a new scope by clicking here on create and selecting attributes, for example brand, for which you want to have certain values. Let's say here I want to look at Adidas original products and I want to look at the German market, so I click here market.de. Yeah, you can now give this a name. Scope XYZ, and yeah, you can add as many end conditions as you want here to make the selection even smaller, as well as having OR conditions to specify alternative conditions. So for example, if I also want to consider the brand, I don't know, Activision, let's say irrespective of market, then I could do it like this. Submit the scope. I've already created the Adidas products in Germany scope, but this is how you would create it. Now jumping to the rules section, this is where you specify some strategic priorities to be respected in the optimization. For that, you would click again on create and you would select the scope that you're interested in. In this case, it's this Adidas in Germany scope. And I want to have two rule templates, which are listed here. I want to use for this, and I want to focus on profitability. That means I want to make sure that I have a profit margin of at least 20%. You can see here, this is already pre-filled and I could submit it like this, but I want to add another group to this, making this a rule group, as we call it, because I also want to make sure that my stock lasts long enough. So for that, I will add a stock reach rule for 4 weeks, applied to the same scope. And yeah, I could give this a name and then submit it. I already created the individual rules separately for the scope, but yeah, that's how that would work. So I have now created my scope and my rules I want to use. Now let's jump to the optimizations. I've already created the optimization I'm interested in, but yeah, we can copy it for now so I can show you how you would create this. And you can see all the settings are here. So I gave this the name Adidas Optimization. I've chosen the pricing forecast and I've picked these two rules. Now I can drag and drop these rules to change the order of priority should these rules be conflicting. And I can add more rules by clicking here and selecting from this drop down. I can also search just with text in there. And below that you now see one of the most outstanding features of our tool, which is the preview curve. Here you can see the best level of profit reachable for a given level of revenue. So, for example, here I have 220,000 euros of revenue, and for that I would reach 90,000 in profit. You can see some other KPIs here as well. This is respecting the rules that we set, and depending on the rules you set, this curve will shift. You also have the point of the current price here. And normally the curve would be outside of the current price, meaning you can reach a net improvement. But it can also be that the current price or the no change scenario is outside of the curve if your rules restrict the framework too much. But this is the optimal steering that you can reach given your rules. And yeah, the steering will then also be respected in the optimization. Now I want to create an optimization for maximum profit. So I would then just submit this. And this would run for 2 to 3 minutes, but for the sake of time, I will just go here and check out the ones we already created previously. So here you can see this is the optimization, 80 products. You can see this kind of recap of the steering we've chosen, max profit, and you can see that for this scope, we have these predictions for revenue, profit, and sales, as well as margin. And if I now click on View Optimization, I can see some details of this optimization. It will load in a second. And here you see that I have the no change scenario versus the predicted scenario I had in this optimization. Yeah, you see the different KPIs reached. We see we have a price increase due to the rules. And then I have a breakdown here of the histogram for the different products, what their margin levels is. I can also click on price changes or select other attributes to get this overview. And below that, I can see the product level, or more specifically product and channel level data per row. So you have one product channel combination per row with the price change, some other pricing columns, financial KPIs, inventory information, and custom KPIs as well, or attributes. So in this case, we have, for example, prediction of a 6% price increase. And if we click on this explain, we can actually get a breakdown of why we arrived at this price. In this case, we have the current price, we have the allowed price range, which is pre-configured, and we see how our rules reduce the range of allowed prices. And if all the rules are applied, we then have this optimization logic, which takes the predicted profit and, with respect to our steering, tries to get to the optimal point. You also see the liquidation end profit, which is another measure of profitability. It measures the total profit this product will accrue until it is liquidated. So yeah, these can be conflicting to an extent, and you can also have custom rules to aim at this liquidation end profit if this is what you are more interested in. So this is the explain. There's much more to discover in this table, but for the sake of time, I will now switch to the upload section because I want to show you how you would configure an upload if you are happy with this optimization outcome. Here you can see for the total set of products, the historical transactions and our prediction. And if you want to create a new forecast, you would click on create and specify an optimization from which you want to inherit the settings of this upload. So in this case, I clicked on our optimization. We see it inherited the rules and the target scope. And now you can say how often I want to create an optimization with an upload with these settings. And I can also decide if this should be uploaded automatically or if I just want to create the upload and then it needs to be reviewed and separately approved. So for that, I can decide on who is the reviewer, and I can configure the technical details of what exactly should be exported, what format, as well as some upload filters. And if all these are set, my account doesn't have the permissions to create this upload here, but if all these are set, you can create this upload. And yeah,